August Biniaz with Real Estate Investing Demystified. We're here in Orlando at the Jake and Gino conference, and we're with our good friend Perry Zheng.
How's it going, August?
And with Cashflow Portal. Explain to us what Cashflow Portal is, Perry.
Thanks, August, for having me here. Cashflow Portal is a real estate investment platform that helps GPs accelerate their equity raising by providing an all-in-one solution for capital raising, CRM, document signing, distributions, and monthly updates.
Right. Just to simplify that for people who might not know and understand it, CRM are used for customer relations. In the case of an investor portal, is a way for GPs to keep in touch with LPs and for LPs to be updated on their investment they've made.
That's exactly right. Contact relationship management.
Perfect. And now, talk to us about do you provide services to both syndicated deals, funds? What is your client profile like?
Absolutely. We provide services to both regular syndications, both in real estate, 90% real estate, but we actually have other non-real estate syndications as well.
Oh, you do?
And also fund and fund of funds. So within the fund is actually a really complicated topic. There's open-ended fund, closed-ended fund, fund of funds, customizable fund of funds, and we support all those ranges of options.
Got it. And what is and then the way that you charge your fees, is that relative to how many investors, how much equity, how does that
Yeah,
organized?
Great question. So it's based on the funds under management, which is how much money you have raised. And so for example, if you're raising a $1 million fund, that is $99. $2 million total is $149. $10 million is about $400 a month. So this is a monthly subscription only based on how much money you intend to raise. So for example, if you're purchasing a $20 million asset and you're raising about $8 million, you don't pay for the $20 million, you pay for the $8 million in which you raise. So all the debt, all the preferred equity doesn't really count. It's the money that you raise from retail investors.
Got it. And could it be with multiple deals, so the 10 million within multiple deals?
Yes, absolutely. We only look at the totality of the funds raised, and not like every time when you raise 1 million is 99. It's looking at the first million is 99 because it takes some time to set it up, but then the incremental million scales sublinear.
Got it. And how about distributions? Do you guys assist with distributions, the actual process of sending the funds to the investor, or you just give the amount to the GP and the GP's accounting team sends that amount to the investor?
Yeah, great question. So distribution consists of two parts. The first is the calculation of distribution. The second part is the transfer of money. We do both. So with the calculation of distribution, we have waterfalls. You can do as complex waterfalls as you like. A typical one is an 80-20 split. Another typical one is 6% preferred cash and cash, then 70-30 split up to a 15% IRR, thereafter 50-50 split. We do all of that. So then when you put out, say, I want to distribute 400,000, you will automatically calculate the waterfall to the extent that you will calculate each investor's distributions for that quarter, for that month, etc. Then there is the transfer of money. And that we use Plaid and our payment provider to transfer the money directly from the GP's bank account to the LP's bank account.
Is that an extra fee for that, or that's included?
It's all actually included. We are the only one that actually includes
That's great. That's great.
Because we did the math, it's like, a few bucks like extra month, and we don't want to add that cognitive load to our investors.
Got it. Great. And you help GPs nationwide. And I think our firm is talking to you as well. We're based out of Canada, but our Canadian LPs as well.
Right.
We are US LPs, so you're pretty much international.
We do primarily US, but we have Canadian GPs, we have Brazilian GPs, we have a couple of Japanese GPs.
Yeah, so great, awesome. Now let's switch the conversation. Yeah. Let's discuss about what's happening currently in the market, particularly the multifamily market. We have a 70% year-over-year drop in transactions in multifamily. What are you seeing in your space? I know that you service more clients than just multifamily. You said you have people that, anybody in the alternative investment space who's raising capital, syndicating deals. But particularly in multifamily and real estate, what are you seeing? Give us your perspective. I think you're actively involved in the space as well.
It's a great question. So I am a syndicator, so I have 1,000 units as a lead sponsor, raised about $25 million myself. And you are right that when I went to some conferences, people usually say, wow, last month was like the record low in terms of transactions and so on. We actually 12x our revenue in the last 12 months. So on our side, we're doing really well because when the times are slow, people like to sharpen their saws and migrate their kind of investor portals. So that's on that end. Now, from a transaction volume, like the speed in which multifamily folks are raising money, we do see that it's no longer the case that in 24 hours people get oversubscribed. That's not true anymore. I also have seen that some investment firms have done some kind of reduction in force, which is not great news, right? The third one is, and this is the most important one, which is maybe the encouraging fact, is more and more people realize that the investment funnel is a sales funnel. The best way to visualize the investment funnel is a sales funnel. It starts with the first contact, the lead capture form. Then it comes to the follow-up. Then it comes into, okay, click here to soft commit. Well, as an example, if the soft commitment requires some kind of an account creation, our customers will be like, why do they have to create an account to soft commit? That's going to lead someone to drop off, and those people, you're never gonna capture them back again, or may not be, right? Then when you're like signing the documents, if they feel like the signing process is too slow, or that every time when they sign up, you need to verify them before they go back into the funnel, some people is gonna drop off. Because the times are tough, every step now counts. And so the best GPs are meticulous about every part of that pipeline. How do we optimize it? Optimize like almost scientifically. And so that's really cool. This is like useful for us as a technology perspective, but it's a reflection of the current state of the things, where the best GPs we have noticed are still oversubscribed really quickly.
Really?
$15 million in a week. That happens. But I mean, when I work with their team, I'm like, yeah, I expect you to be oversubscribed because you folks are so professionals.
Got it.
In this market, I would say the silver lining is if you're really good, you still are okay. Competency trumps everything.
Yes. Now let's look at the other side. Let's look at distress.
Yeah.
Groups that have found themselves in a difficult position. If they're doing capital calls, if their investor, their economics are being diluted. How do you guys get involved on the back end part as far as investor? If there is a capital call, do they translate that to your team, and your team has to then factor that in? What are you seeing there? Are there groups that are in distress, and how does that work in the background with Investor Portal?
Absolutely. So we have seen a few distress properties. I won't say distress in so much because, first of all, if they are doing a successful capital call, I will say that's good news. At this time, this bar is good. That's a good standard. The real distress ones is that they are not even taking action to remedy any problems, right? And so from a portal perspective, capital cost is a click of a button and you initiate the capital call. So that's no problem there. We have seen that capital calls usually do not succeed, as in you get a good case scenario is you get about 60% conversion. So if 60% or better of your investors actually chime in on a capital call, that's good.
Got it. That makes sense. As far as the deals, your firm, are you still actively investing in multifamily?
So I am a GP for deals, about 1,000+ units, all as a lead sponsor.
Yes.
I have not syndicated myself this year, and I do not plan to do real estate syndications myself personally for the next, for the foreseeable future, next 5-10 years. And the reason is I am more of an LP now. I have done more than 12 LP investments in both real estate and tech startups. So that's what I like. You almost came this full cycle where you're the camel working really hard, and then you become like the lion where you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm like doing well, and then you become a child again to become back into an LP.
Nice. That's great. Hey, really appreciate your wisdom, and great. It was great. Thank you for your time.